Wembley Stadium, 90,000 screaming fans. The air is literally so thick with tension you could cut it with a knife. You're watching a clash of titans on the brink, 90 minutes of pure raw desperation. No context needed for the players on the pitch right now, just the visceral weight of this single moment, and that absolutely deafening roar of the crowd. One mistake, one brilliant touch, that's all that separates immortality from absolute heartbreak. But how exactly did it come to this? How did we arrive at this exact explosive climax in the FA Cup final? Let's rewind the tape. To understand the stakes, we have to look at the staggering contrast between these two clubs. On one side, we've got Manchester City, a treble-chasing juggernaut, stable, terrifying. Pep Guardiola is hunting for his 20th club trophy and 35th major honor overall. And on the other side, Chelsea, a club in absolute turmoil. We're talking about a $1 billion squad that's fired 2 coaches since the turn of the year alone. They walked into Wembley completely crisis-hit, led by a novice interim manager, Callum McFarlane, dragging a miserable 7-game winless streak in the league right behind them. On paper, it looks like the ultimate mismatch. But there's a number hanging heavy over Manchester City: 2. That's 2 consecutive FA Cup final defeats leading up to this match. First against Crystal Palace, then Manchester United. So City walked out onto that pitch carrying an immense, unspoken pressure to finally end their Wembley curse. Yes, they were the favorites, for sure, but the weight of recent history was pulling right at their ankles. So let's step onto the pitch for the first half. It's a tactical battlefield, a high-stakes chess match filled with tension. And you know what? A managerless Chelsea completely refused to just roll over. McFarlane deployed this incredibly rigid defensive med-block. His goal? Suffocate the center of the pitch. And it worked. They completely crowded out Erling Haaland early on. You had Melo Gusto and Cole Palmer brilliantly double-teaming City's wingers, like Jeremy Doku. City had all the ball, but Chelsea had the shape. Plus, on the counterattack, João Pedro posed a relentless, looming threat. All of this turned the first 45 minutes into a gritty, suffocating stalemate. Then, the game almost explodes. Kusana versus João Pedro. Chelsea breaks fast. Pedro surges into the penalty box. Kusanov, City's center back, comes steaming over. A massive collision. Pedro goes down hard. Chelsea screams for a lifeline, and the entire crowd just holds its breath while VAR steps in. Because the margins in these cup finals, they are razor thin. Just listen to Ali McCoist on the commentary. He said, "I think it's excellent defending. He just comes across and stands his ground." And VAR agrees. The referee waves play on. Chelsea is absolutely boiling over, but the whistle blows for halftime. 0-0. Against all odds, the billion-dollar crisis club is holding off the blue machine. But every great match has a turning point. Guardiola retreats to the dressing room and he knows his master plan is failing. He needs a detonation. So at halftime, he makes his move. Omar Marmush comes out, Ryan Cherki goes in, and let's be clear, this isn't just a simple personnel swap. This is Guardiola's ruthless decision to violently disrupt Chelsea's stubborn structure. Think about the contrast here. In the first half, City's width was far too narrow, and Chelsea stayed incredibly compact, entirely suffocating Haaland. But in the second half, Cherki steps on the pitch and immediately stretches the play. The result is instant. Chelsea's tight mid-block is dragged entirely out of position. The seams start to tear. Those critical pockets of space down the middle finally rip open. Haaland desperately needed room to breathe, and suddenly, he has it. Now we enter the second half drama, the detonation. City starts turning the screw, and you can physically feel the pressure mounting. Chelsea is desperately clinging to their fading hopes, just waiting for the dam to break. Then we hit minute 72. This is it. The exact moment Guardiola's tactical masterstroke actually pays off. The moment all that built-up tension finally snaps. Bernardo Silva surges forward, completely breaking the lines. He spots Haaland waiting in that newly open space. Haaland takes it, cuts the ball back with a perfectly weighted pass. Antoine Semenyo is there with his back to the goal. And he delivers a sensational, breathtaking flick. The ball just rolls right into the far corner, beating Sanchez. That single, devastating moment completely shatters Chelsea's resistance. 1-0. Instantly, Chelsea activates desperation mode. They throw absolutely everything they have forward. Those final minutes are just frantic, pure, unadulterated chaos. James Trafford fumbles a touch, creating a massive scramble in the box. Moises Caicedo sends this looping header right on target, but City's midfield anchor, Rodri, literally appears out of nowhere to head it right off the goal line. And then, just moments later, Enzo Fernandez flicks a ball in from close range and it sails mere inches over the crossbar. Just inches away from salvation. But that salvation never comes. The final verdict is sealed as the whistle blows. Exhaustion, elation, the visceral fallout of a gritty 1-0 result settles heavily over a battered Chelsea squad. The scale of this aftermath is truly staggering. City secures their 8th FA Cup, finally burying that awful Wembley curse. More importantly, their pursuit of a domestic treble stays fiercely alive. But what about Chelsea? Their billion-dollar squad finishes the season completely empty-handed, trophyless. And worse, they leave Wembley with their hopes of European qualifications severely damaged. It really was a clash of dynasties, ultimately defined by a single, breathtaking flick. Pep Guardiola walks away with his 35th career major trophy, while Chelsea's incredibly expensive rebuild is left searching for answers in the dust of Wembley. But with the City machine marching on like this, you really have to wonder, who can possibly stop them next season? If you felt the intense drama of this Wembley chess match, do us a huge favor and hit that like button right now. Share this explainer with every football fan you know, and make sure to subscribe to Arena 360 for our weekly deep dives into the beautiful game. Comment your take down below. Was that Kusanov challenge actually a penalty? Let us know, because we read every single one. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next explainer.
So, did you find today's explainer useful?
Then definitely drop a like, share it out, and subscribe to join the family.
Tell us, what should we explore next? Stay well.